Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 in the place to be. Happy Sunday. It's been a minute. It's always going to be a minute because you know how it is. There was a time when I would wake up ready to record. Now it was crazy because back then, if I was going to make a video, I had to take out like a camera, and then back in the day. Well, either way, it still sucked. Back in the day, I had like little tapes. So if I was talking for like 30 minutes, I had to import into Final Cut Pro for 30 minutes. And then I had to do my little editing. And then I had to upload it on a slow-ass Wi-Fi situation. And then when Sony came out with the little DV things, so if I recorded for 15 minutes, it had to uncompress, which would take like another 30 minutes. And then finally get to the era of iPhones and uploading straight from there. So yeah, I used to put a lot of work in there, and you know, my consistency was consistent. Now I could just hop up on here and be like, brap, brap, brap. But mold, dirt. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good holiday. I mean, the holidays are still happening. Black Friday kicked my black ass. I got so much shit. I do it every year. I buy sample packs. And then a whole year goes by, and sometimes I don't even touch the sample packs. Now I'm in now I'm at the point where I got so many. It's going to take me like 2 weeks to sit there and organize it, which I'll do over Christmas break. Just in time for drum roll, 2025 365 challenge. Yeah, I like doing these. Now they get harder and harder. I mean, last time I did it, I was kind of scared. It just came out of nowhere. But last time I did it, it was the first time, and I didn't have a system, so I'd be outside in the cold rapping. I could have did it in my house the whole time, but I didn't want to disturb neighbors, so I'm like out in the streets. I didn't have a microphone, and I didn't have like settings. I just listened to it. I went through it. My first 365 started from day one, went all the way to 365. Took about 3 days. And I don't know. I know I'm not Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, or whoever. So there ain't nobody really analyzing my lines like that. And they don't get, recycled in battle raps, and people don't like put them on t-shirts. But I was listening to some of the lines, not everything. 365, I could say some of them were trash. But others, oh my gosh, the concepts I was with, the hooks I was coming with. And again, all these were done on that day. Like there was no one like it. So the fact that I was able to come up with stuff, like, let me see if I can think of one of them right off the top. And I can't. That's the other thing. Like, I got all these things. They're there. I heard. I'm like, did I say that? I'm getting all emotional. Like, damn. The more I listen to it, I'm like, I gotta do another 365. The second time I did the 365 was after COVID, or 2020. So the first one was 2019, and I'm saying all like this stuff like, in 2020 I'm gonna do this. There's one rapper like, I'm gonna go to Europe and check this out. I didn't know. Nobody knew it was coming. And then the next 365 was after I'm back in America, after my mom died, teaching, living a new life. This 365, I'm situated. I've learned from both of them, so I know how I want to set it up. I just told you, I got all these sample packs. So the music's going to be nice. My organization will be nice. So, because when I was listening to this 365, the first one, there's some tracks that be like, da 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 da, and I'm done. But then the track just be on. But I have a plan. Check out this plan. So, for 2025, I want to sell my music, right? And I've been selling it. Like I did sell a couple beats, and I have done some like ghost production. People ask me to write a rap for them, and I even sold my acapellas. Those were far and few between, and there was middlemen. But check out this concept, right? Every time I make a track, make a rap or whatever, I got the first one, boom. There's someone out there be like, I want to buy that song. Like they want to support the song. All right, cool. But now there's the beat. Like I just made a track. So maybe they don't care for what I rapped on. They're like, I'd rather just rap on your beat. Don't need you on it. So I can sell the track. There's the lyrics. Like I write all my lyrics. So someone could be like, I could rap your lyrics. Like I could ghostwrite. Again, 365 verses are out there. But again, I didn't do it in this way. So it's going to be hard to go back and like uncover the verses for the tracks. But moving forward, every time I put up something, you got the track, you got the verses, you got the instrumental, you got the acapella. And then on the side hustle, you got, I could tailor whatever track to someone's specific needs. Like, I really like that. Can you rap about this? And then on the side, I could teach someone how to do what I just did, because clearly I'm doing it. So there are like 5 revenue streams right there. Also promotion. Now this is kind of like, on the one hand, I should have done this from day one or been doing this, but it is what it is. I'm doing it now. But people could promote on my site. And at first it'll be easy because there won't be too much competition and you just get on the ground floor. But yeah, so the trick is I just got to keep track of all these things. And I'm excited. Because the idea is, and I want to get a placement. The holy grail of placements. But that's what I'm working towards 2025. I'm also going to be doing my master's. I don't know if I posted a video, but I got my grades. I got a freaking A in one class. And in the other class, I got a 90.3. And apparently in the syllabus, it says if you get a 91, you get an A+. A 90.3 is a B+. There ain't no A minuses. So I was kind of upset about that. I would have had a 4.0 at first. But I was on probation. So if I would have got like a C, they would have kicked me out. And I would have lost my scholarship. Basically, at the end of every year, my school's going to give me $2,000. Not a lot of money, but it's better than nothing. So I'm en route. I just got to stay on top of it. Now I'm throwing in the 365, so I'm really going to be making life miserable. Well, not miserable, but I got my school, got my grad school, got my little challenge. But busy is cool. When you're not busy, I feel that's when, like last night or yesterday, I would say I spent maybe a good 8 hours trying to use Google Scripts to make a sign-out sheet for my students. You say, why don't you just use a piece of... Shut up. So this Google scripted sign-out sheet, when a student tries to sign in, if another student is out, it'll say, there's someone out, can you wait? It could say anything, but it'll be like, can you wait? That part I did do. But then the next part is, I want them to have like a little queue system going on the side, so then they can know who's in front of them. Because this whole first trimester, that's all can I go to the bathroom? And I'm like, someone's out. And I'm like, the whole time it's like, I don't know who's out. And it takes like a quick 3-second, turn your head around, you'll see an empty seat. But my kids don't do that. I even bought like little bathroom passes, one boy, one girl. And they'll be looking at me, can I go to the bathroom? I look over at the bathroom pass. They follow my gaze. Oh, oh. Now, again, I spent 8 hours doing this, and it probably will have the same net effect. Oh, I didn't see the name on the side of the screen right there. But there's more I can do, and I'm really, I made a whole app, a little web app. So it's really cool. And that's only the beginning. I can use Google Script inside Google Classroom and print out students who don't do their homework. And then I could use the same Google Script. So this is the ultimate goal. At any point, I could push a little button, and then it will pull from Google Classroom all the work that they did or didn't do. It will pull from the bathroom to give how many times they went to the bathroom. It will pull from this, when my kids are being whatever, I make them write random stuff. I will not stand up and shout. I will not chew gum. I will not skip in the hallway. I got a list of them. I will not run around in the hallway. And then they write that. So for my phone, I just put their name in, push send, and then it prints right to the printer, has their name, it has what they did, it had the time, the date. It makes a copy in a digital Dropbox, and they get a copy. Now, this is because before I was just writing it down on a piece of paper. But again, I don't have time in the middle of the class to sit there and write down what they're doing. And two, the kids would always lose it. If I just gave them the paper, they'd be like, oh, what do I gotta write? And then they'd pick the shortest one. I will not stand. That's not what I said. But so now this thing will pull how many times I had to tell them to stop shouting in class. And then I'll make one little report, which I could send to the parents via email, and they could have a better understanding of why their kids' grades are so low. Because A, I keep telling them to stop messing around, and B, they keep going to the bathroom, and C, they don't do their homework. Which, yeah, I know it sounds like a lot of work for me to set it up, but once it's done, it's really set and forget. It's like push a button, boop, and it prints it out. It would automatically send it to the parents too. And I keep telling the kids, man, some kids every 3 seconds, can I go to the bathroom? And I can't say much, but when it's detailed, you went to the bathroom 8 times in a 2-minute span. What's wrong with you? That's what the parents will say. They won't believe me. They won't think their little precious is trying to whatever. And then if my system can get used school-wide, we could be interesting. You go to the bathroom every day at the same time, and so does Johnny and Lisa. And we could ambush them. But yeah, so that's how I keep the time. That's what I've been up to. What else? I don't know. I guess that's about it, man. Other than that, yesterday I almost went on a date. Almost. But you said you were working on the script. That's right. That's how I spent my time instead. But let me tell you the shortened version, right? I met this woman, right? And everything was great in the beginning. This is only over a span of a week. So I met her on a Monday. Monday, we're cool. We talked for 4 hours. She loves zombies. I'm like Walking Dead. She knew Walking Dead. I'm like, which character are you? I'm like Daryl. I just keep to myself. This is a key point in this whole thing. I said, I'm like Daryl. I keep to myself. Just be doing my own thing. He's dependable, but he just does his own thing. She's like, okay. We talked about escape rooms. Because I love escape rooms. You never have no one to go with. And you technically can't go by yourself. Because you sometimes need at least two people. And she's like, yeah, I'll go. I said, what did I say? I don't know how it came up. But I was like, have you ever been to the strip club? She's like, no, I always want to go. I'm like, you want to go? I'll take you. She's like, sure. That sounds exciting. I'm like, what you going to do? She's like, I'm going to take some dollars and fold them up. And so we were just connecting. She's a teacher. I'm a teacher. She said she liked to do music. She's like, you got music? I'm like, yeah. So I sent her one of my songs. Well, I sent her 2 albums, SMF and then Moonrock. And she's like, yeah, I was listening to your song. And I'm like, yeah, one of the songs I talk about zombies. And then she was like, yeah, you said surrounded by zombies, evil residents, from the bottom right up to the... She quoted me. And I'm like... As I was saying before, in the beginning of this video, people don't tend to quote me. Like 365, that's 6, 700 and... Don't hate me, the math ain't mathin'. But over 700 raps. Very few people came up and quoted something I said. Like, here's the line. I'm like, I was rapping. This rap was pretty dope. I was in Shibuya. I was meeting someone. And they said they do music, but they didn't want to get on the mic with me. So I just recorded while they were there. And I'm just out in the street. But then the track was like this fast, like really fast. So my rap was like, like that kind of rhythm. And then I'm just going on about we slaves to the masters, talking about the recording industry, for the masters that are, the owners, or again, the music, double entendres, all that. We slave to the masters. We signed the contract. You try to get out, but you can't get out. How you got black balls? How you get blackballed when you got black balls? Get out. You get the scheme. So Get Out, I believe that was a movie, right? And it's usually black artists, but all artists get fucked. But black artists get stuck in a situation where they can't get out their contract, and then they get blackballed, but you got blackballs. So it's like, how you got blackballed when you got blackballs? Get out. That's a dope line. But then it's kind of like, if no one responds, it's a whole, if a tree falls and no one hears it, does it fall? Well, if a rap is dope and no one says it's dope, is it dope? Now, fortunately, I think it's dope, but I don't ever get the confirmation, And you might be saying, but I think artists in general are like that. It's one thing when you be like, I got 20 platinum plaques. It's another thing when ain't nobody checking out my raps. But again, this girl, she was able to pick it up, and I was just like, wow. She's like, don't people listen to your music? I'm like, they do. So anyway, we're talking, everything is good, and then we FaceTime. Now again, 4 hours of talking. I'm like a Daryl. I told her I'm like the Hawk. I like to be left alone. I don't like people like, Hawk could destroy many things, but he's a nice guy. He ain't around. He ain't going out. Hawk ain't going around like starting shit. He's just trying to. You won't like me when I'm mad. Wolverine. I use all these references. Wolverine. He's just doing his thing. So we FaceTime and we're talking, and she said something like, I took some shots, and I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I took some tequila shots. It was to help her sleep. I don't know what that means. Someone out there explain that to me. He's like, I know people take wine. I guess you could take any liquor, whatever. So, whatever. When people say I don't judge, I don't judge. I could care less, as long as you ain't infringing on my peace of mind. So, we're talking, and she like looks at, because we're FaceTiming. She looks at me. We're talking, and she's like, you look, I don't even know how she said it, but something to the effect of, you look, your energy is not there. And I guess I got to go back 4 hours ago, or the day of the 4-hour conversation. I'm like, yeah, when, like we had a whole conversation. I said, because you know how I talk. I'd be like, because I'm like self-editing my stuff, because back when I started YouTubing, if I would say something stupid, I'd have to edit it out in real time. Took a lot of effort, so I just did it, or I'd have to do it in post. So if I'm talking for like 3 hours, I gotta sit there and edit it out. It takes forever. So I started developing this style of doing my vlogging, and it's kind of a carryover from how I talk. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm like, I didn't mean that. I just don't say it. It gets me in trouble. People, like, I think I mentioned this, but one of my students, they looked at me, and every now and then they keep asking the same question. They said, Mr. Bailey, do you like us? And I'd be like, trying to think of the best way to say this. One, I don't know you. I mean, they were asking me this on the first day of school. Like, I don't know you. Two, it's not my job to like you. Treat you with respect. Be fair. I ain't gotta like you to do my job. But I don't know if that's too harsh for young people. But before I could even get there, like, why take so long? Why take so long? You don't like us. Jump into the conclusion. I hate that. Don't be throwing your insecurities at me. So, I told this girl all about these things, and 4 hours. Seems like she's understanding what I'm trying to say. So now we're back to this FaceTime, and she's like, yeah, your energy is low. Oh, and another point. All this support. So at one point, she's like, why do you stop every time you talk? And I'm like, that's just how I talk, because, if I say what I say, sometimes people take it the wrong way. And I gave some examples of that. I can't tell you how many times I'm talking to my dudes, my guys, and they say whatever, and then I say what I say, and then they're just like, done. I don't hear from them ever again. I mean, if we pass each other. But we could, again, 4 hours of talking about music, like, oh man, Matt this, Matt that. And the next thing you know, they might, like this happened. Some guy watched me on YouTube for, I don't know, long enough to be like, I'm coming to Japan, you want to meet up? So we go, and we're walking around Shinjuku, and he's like, yo, you want to smoke? Now, one, smoking in Japan will get you banned, and I ain't trying to get banned. You understand? Two, I don't smoke. Three, I can go on and on, but so he's like, you want to smoke? Like, nah. He's like, why? He's like, that's not my thing. He's like, why? And then he said this, what, you think you're better than me? That's what he came up with. He said, no, I don't smoke because I don't smoke. I know people who smoke. I don't. What you think? And we just started talking about that. Or this one happened. I just came out of a date in Shinjuku. Maybe that's where I should never be. But I'm in Shinjuku, and we come out the movie theaters, and the date I was with, she's like, what do you want to do next? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, you want to go to the bar? I'm like, I don't drink. She stopped, like, you don't drink? What do you do for fun? And I'm like, we just came out the movies. I'm on a date with you. I paid. And then she's like, you don't do anything for fun. Wow, what is, like. So, yeah, I could have avoided all those situations by not saying anything, but I didn't know that's a thing. I didn't know people will drink shame you and smoke shame you. I don't know if I'm using it correctly. So I was explaining this without going into details because I'm a normal person. It's just I run into these kind of situations often. So, all right, now we're finally on the day. So she's like, you're giving off low energy. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you just look like you just look like you're giving off low energy. And it's like, it's making me feel a certain way. So now, if I wasn't giving off energy, I was giving off energy at that point. We had this conversation. So why are we having this conversation? So I say, okay, 3 things carry over from when I used to be in Japan at the teachers' meeting. They'd be like, I got 3 points, and they just pop. Say, number 1, I told you yesterday, this is my personality. I'm not a rah, 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 rah person. I talk when I talk. On the mic, I get hype. But normally, I'm just chilling. Like Banner and Daryl from The Walking Dead. She's like, yeah, I know, but, you should be more excited to talk to me. And I'm like, you told me yesterday to be myself. This is who I am. You told me I should be who I am, and I'm being who I am. Now that you're telling me to be more excited, that's not me. 3, you don't even know me. Maybe after 6 months you could say, okay, this is whatever, but a week? And you're just telling me I'm this, that, and the third? So she jumps in. Like, can I speak now? Nah, I didn't raise my voice. I'm not being antagonistic. I'm just laying down. I'm setting my boundaries, So she gets on and she's like, wow. And her neck is all turning all this way. And she just, first of all, I don't like how you crash it out on me. Like, she uses a lot of those type of Gen Z. Slay King and all that, which is, we're the same age. But hey, whatever. So she's just like, first of all, I don't like you talking to me like that. I was just saying that I didn't like your energy. I'm a type of person that... So we go back. So then she's done talking. It's like, you got nothing to say? So now I'm like, all right. Because again, we had plans to go on a date on that Saturday. This Saturday. Yesterday, Saturday. So if I say what I'm going to say, then there's not going to be a date. I'm trying to have a date. So I'm like, okay, I've heard this conversation before. This has happened before. It's nothing new. And, people who... And she jumped, I'm not judging you. I'm just... And the whole time her neck is... And she's like all that... Which I don't have time for that. I'm not that one. I'm not the one. So, but I salvage it because I say, I think you're cool. I think that, so I just say a bunch of stuff. I don't backtrack. I just kind of de-escalate it. Another part. I can't tell it anymore, but I told her at one point I read a lot of books, like self-help, because I know that my way of being is difficult for not everybody. I'm sure somebody out there is, they sync up with the way I am. But in general, a lot of people run around just speaking out their ass and throwing opinions and putting their feet in their mouth and then being upset when people look, but I was just saying how I feel. Well, that person who responds has the same right to say the same thing. I told her I read books, and that's the whole thing. Like, be yourself. You don't have to read books. Just be who you are. So now, here are the books coming in. So I'm de-escalating things, Like, for example, if you say, you do this, and you do this, and I do this, you're kind of setting up divisions. You got to do the we's and take away the you's. So I'm using my training. I read a book. The book was How Not to Argue. I read a whole bunch. But anyway, so eventually we get back to a quiet spot. And she's like, after a while, she's like, okay, I feel like everything is back to normal. Then she throws in, if you ever talk to me that way again, what are you going to do? Like, you don't want the smoke. I'm not saying I'm a bully. I'm not saying, because, like, I would just hang up and go about my business. I don't need drama in my life. But anyway, so the next day we talk, and the following day we're back up on FaceTime, and we're talking, and I was talking about my brother's friend who did, because we're talking about PhD. Like, she also does like degrees. She's in a program. She wants to get her PhD. She wants to be a principal. I want to be a principal. Like, we had so much in common. So we get on and she's like complaining about, oh my gosh, I got to go to school tomorrow. I'm so filled with anxiety. I'm like, you're a teacher. What the hell? Now, mind you, again, you don't know all this, but throughout the break, I was at school decorating my class. So when the kids came back, it'd be like a winter wonderland. So I was there 3 days for like 4 hours each day, just putting the lights up and all that shit. Every time I went, she's like, you're going to work? Why are you going to work? You don't get paid to go to work. And I'm like, well, when would I put the lights up? Blah, blah, blah. Kind of annoying, especially from a teacher. We don't have time to do shit. We got to do shit when we do shit. I thought she'd understand that shit. So now, the day before break starts, she's all like, just kind of like, I'm so nervous. I'm having anxiety. Now, I don't judge. I just think it's weird. You're a teacher. And I'm like, I don't have that problem because I've been going to work all this break. So then I'm talking about my brother's friend who did a PhD, and how he was yelling at me for my opinion that he asked for. Again, I'm Banner. You know, Hulk. I didn't go in there and say your dissertation sucks. I said, it's interesting. My catch-all. It's interesting. He's like, what do you mean it's interesting? I'm like, it's interesting. He's like, what do you mean it's interesting? I'm like, well, you know, I think that your premise is flawed and blah, blah, blah. It's like, and then for the next hour, he's just coming at me. Bear, your idea is reductive. What the hell is reductive? I had to look it up. And then finally, I'm like, wait, hold up. Why am I having this conversation with you? It ain't my dissertation, and you really don't care what I'm saying. And it was my brother's friend. My brother is 7 years older than me. And it's my brother's friends and his friends. So there's like 4 of them, and then me. As we're going back and forth, because I read his dissertation. My brother sent it to me, I read it. As I'm talking, nobody else in the room read their friend's dissertation. They have opinions, but they can't even, wow, on page 7. So my point is even more valid than all his friends, because they didn't even read it. So I was just making this point to this girl. And then she goes, now clearly you can see I'm like invested in the fact that I read a dissertation when his friends did it, and the guy is like yelling at me for advice or for an opinion that he solicited. She responds, I have no thoughts. I'm just so tired. I can't think about stuff. So I stopped talking. Like, you know, I'm passionately telling the story. So again, she said I don't give any low vibes. Like, I'm telling the story as I tell the story. And then she says that, so I stopped talking. And, why'd you stop talking? You're giving off low vibes again. And my heart starts beating, like boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, and it's like, what? You're not gonna say anything? But then I'm just like, it's like, well, I'm gonna let you go. So then I was like, I'm gonna be the adult, and click, she hangs up on me. I was gonna say I'm gonna be the adult. It's not working out. Clearly, because I even mentioned, I said this is the same conversation we had 2 days ago. I mean, I'm all over the place, but 2 days ago, I'm like, I kept talking about, it's like, can we just stop? Can we drop it? I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, if we don't, just drop it. But if we didn't talk about it, it's going to happen again and again and again and again. 2 days later, it happened again. So I'm like, yeah, it happened again. And I click, hangs up. I block her. And the one link that I sent her, I saw it, I unlinked it. And life goes on. But it's just annoying. And I tell my therapist this story, and she's just like, you'll find somebody. Someone's out there for you. I know that. It's not patronizing. But yeah, I'm good, because I feel anytime this happens this quickly, I'm dodging bullets. Because could you imagine if I had a kid with this woman? Every day would be this. I mean, I got my grays or whatever the hell this shit is coming all over But I would be like, because you know these people who are with someone because kids are involved, and now they're just kind of like, they're not happy. I don't ever want to be not happy when kids are involved. I want whoever I'm with to be a lovey-dovey, happy family, you know? So I was saved. And I don't know. My what do you call it? My bullshit detector. I don't turn it on. I leave it off. I know I very early on, people do what they do, and you kind of have a feeling, all right, they're going to be whatever. But I don't want to run around, because you never know. I'll give people the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, that's my life. You know. But if you don't see me anytime soon, just know 2025 is going to be lit. We're going to be doing that new challenge. It's going to be better than bigger. Bam. And be safe.